Really cool plant. This one is actually called Stevia, and I love Stevia. Stevia is many times stronger, or actually, sorry, sweeter than sugar, and it does not contain any sugar in it. So this is a plant. It's an herb. Actually, I got some people have a hard time finding Stevia herb growing. Let's see. I found my plants at actually Target and Home Depot of all places. I think I also got some at nursery or whatnot, but I mean, just look at your regular places like Target and Home Depot, and then in the herb section where their herbs are being sold, and you may find it. So this plant here is grown in Northern California. I think I'm like a zone 9 or something, but it does freeze in the wintertime. So what happens is it dies back down to the base, and basically I clip it down every year, so you can kind of see basically where I have clipped it down last year, and then basically every year the root stays alive under the ground, and it basically sprouts up new growth every year, and it's really quite delicious. So what I do is I let it grow all summer long, and let's see, into the fall, and it still is growing pretty good in the fall. Then pretty much it'll go to flower, and right when it goes to flower, before the first frost, I basically cut it down. So I cut it down at the base, and then I'll basically dehydrate the leaves at a low temperature, and then I'll have, you know, dried stevia leaves I could use year round. That's pretty much how I do it. Sometimes I miss the point where it frosts before I could actually cut them down, so then the leaves turn black and then they're basically no longer usable. But in those cases I actually ended up with a lot of seeds, so stevia seeds, which I've heard have, you know, sometimes viability challenges, or don't basically sprout easily or don't grow easy. So I guess there's a couple techniques to do that I've looked into, is basically keeping them really warm while you're trying to sprout the stevia seeds to grow them. I have had really good success propagating stevia by cuttings. So basically, you know, you want to take the guy here right at the tip and basically cut off, you know, probably right around here, and so you have basically this much, and you'll take off, you know, a couple sets of leaves and basically root this, and it'll actually root really well. I have about 24 in the greenhouse right now that I rooted last year. They're coming along really good. So probably I would recommend you know, propagating stevia by basically cuttings and rooting them instead of seeds. Although seeds are easier to transport and order online, cuttings can be, you know, difficult or more expensive to buy starter plants at that point, because they probably just won't send you cutting because it's not going to make it. So stevia, one of my favorite non-sugar sweeteners to use, and it's great to make, you know, teas out of the fresh leaves, you know, adding it to, you know, recipes to make things sweeter. Now I have noticed that I have at least 2 different varieties of stevia here. There's, you know, one plant here, and, you know, I have another plant over here right there, and I have another one there, one there, and one here. And if you look at them really closely, they look a little bit different. Like this guy here has more long, slender leaves, and this guy here, the leaves aren't quite as long. And I bought these at different stores at different times, so I think they might be different, a little bit different varieties. And the other thing is that, you know, they taste a little bit different from each other. One has a little bit less aftertaste, and I don't recall which one it is, but I'll just go out and, you know, pick some, whichever one. I mean, to me, it's all the same. They're all quite unique and quite delicious. So, once again, stevia. I'm John Kohler with Growing Your Greens, and you can grow your own greens.